Hello and welcome. My name is Chad, aka Abner, bringing you another video on my vlog on the Raspberry Pi. I went through recently and got kind of crazy and bored, I guess, and wanted to make a old retro gaming system. I do some twitching on Twitch and thought it would be kind of fun to go through and do some old school games on there. So trying to figure out what would be the easiest way to doing it, and I thought, hey, why don't we just go through and make a Retropie and then bring you guys some videos on it and show you guys basically the step-by-steps of doing it. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of videos out there, but you know, I just kind of felt like doing something that somebody that has no clue on what a Retropie really does. I mean, I know it runs on Linux. It's a small mini PC, essentially. But, yeah, besides that, I mean, I've had experience in building gaming PCs and just normal PCs. But, you know, nothing with Linux. So I thought, hey, you know, I can bring you guys this video or a series of videos, and then you can go through and experience the same thing. And I'm actually kind of curious, once I'm done with this, I would like to see either pics of your Retropie, or even just a Raspberry Pi if you turned it into, let's say, an XBMC machine or something like that. Just go ahead and send those to us on Twitter at the at non-elites. Also, you can hashtag non-elites when you do that. And yeah, we'll go through and we'll retweet those and show everybody else. So go ahead and make sure you do that. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get started, and we will head back over to the table and put the Raspberry Pi in the case and get everything situated. And then after that, we will go through and look at the computer and get all the software loaded up onto the SD card. I am hopefully going to get to the install next right after that. If not, I will make a third video of that. If you missed out on the unboxing, I will put annotations up, and then I'll also have a link at the end of the video to go through and watch that. So then you can start from the beginning. Alright guys, I'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back at the table with the Raspberry Pi, and I pretty much took like the cords and everything, the power supply, and I moved it over to where I'm going to be using the Raspberry Pi over by my TV. But I wanted to go through and put together the Raspberry Pi into the case and then add the heat sinks and then basically the other components that will be added to the Raspberry Pi, which is going to be the USB Wi-Fi, or the wireless connection for the Wi-Fi. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and open up the case. Now this is everything that has come in the kit. So this is the case that comes with that. Now there's several different other types of cases you can buy. There's custom ones. If you have a 3D printer, you can print your own, but I'm not accessible enough, or I guess I'm not lucky enough to have a 3D printer. I guess that'd be the easiest way to say it. So let's get into this. And let's just go ahead and put that over there. Alright, so like I had stated before, these are your USBs. This is your Ethernet. This is going to be if you need to have AV connection out. Now, just so you're aware, this does not come with the Raspberry Pi. So you will need to go through and purchase this separately. Now with my setup, I'm going to go with HDMI, which is this connection. Unfortunately, I won't be going through the AV connection, but I know that some people will want to still get that somewhat old feel of the, the arcade. If you're building an arcade, this would probably be the route you would want to go. There is some settings I know in some of the emulators that you can go through and make it look like it, but yeah, so we will be using the HDMI through this series of videos. This is going to be your power, and then there's some other connections on this that are for other devices I won't be getting into. There are certainly other videos on YouTube that will go through those. Like you can add a camera, you can add other extensions to the Raspberry Pi. And then if you flip it over, you will see here, this is where your SD card goes into. It's kind of nice because they do go through and label this pretty nicely. It says micro SD card. The older kits, if you end up getting an older kit or an older board, it may be the full size SD card, but for this one we do have the mini, which I like. All right, and like I said, they label it like HDMI and stuff like that. So all right, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, and just like you guys, I'm just doing this. I haven't even looked at this, so if I make any mistakes, it's because I'm just like everyone else, just trying to experience it, trying to see how it works. I'm more of a hands-on person, so I like to kind of mess with it and figure it out. So it looks like this is going to go like this. All right, now it did come with a couple screws, and just so you guys are aware, you're going to need some little screwdrivers for these because these are little tiny screws. Hopefully this, oh man, little screwdriver here. Kind of surprised it didn't come with more than just 2 screws though. I got big fat hands or fingers, so it's like trying to get these in there is okay. That didn't work. Let's take that out. Let's take a look at this real quick, or maybe I need to snap it in there. Okay, so let's see if that helped. Okay, that didn't work. That's supposed to go in that one. I mean, it's in there pretty good, so it's not like it's really needing the screws, but I'm kind of curious on why or what these screws are for. If it's not. Okay. Well, maybe it's to put the case together. Let's see. Let's go ahead and, you know what, before we do that, let's go through and put our heat sinks on before I close it up. Like I stated in the other video, some of the research that I've done and watched some videos and stuff on the heat sinks, people are kind of hit and miss on it. Not everybody's for them. Some people love them. But most of them state that it is like a 3 to 5 degree difference. And if you're going to do any overclocking, I highly recommend the heat sinks or even the big fan that you can buy a case for. But just like that, I applied the first one, which is the USB controller. And it was pretty easy. It's just like I told you before, it's like a 3M adhesive. And you just get maybe just get the piece of paper off of it, or the cover for the sticky part. I don't have any nails, so it doesn't help. There we go. Only took me 5 minutes to do that. Alright, so now I'm going to go through and add it on the main processor. That looks good. So then just kind of hold it down. I say hold it down for a few seconds. I mean, I didn't read on it. Yes, I know. But you know what? I'm your normal consumer. So I just, like I said before, I like to just jump in, try figuring it out myself, and learn from my mistakes, basically. So, all right. I think we're good here. So there we go. That's the heat sinks on it inside the case. Looks like the little screws weren't really working into holding this down. So let's see if it was made to put the case together and hold the case. I don't think it was, though. But let's see. Let's put this down on top. Kind of have to squeeze it. There we go. Okay. And I still don't see where the screws would go. That's the only possible places I could think that they would go in. Alright, so that's going to be my first, I guess, complaint about the kit, is that these little screws really are kind of pointless. Not really. I mean, it clipped right in, as you can see. I mean, the Raspberry Pi isn't going anywhere, which is nice. You know, and you still have your access to your SD card, so you don't have to tear it apart to get to it, which is nice. All your connections look like they work. You know, they're pretty nice. They're right up to to flush. You know, you don't have to worry about it. These all your extra connections are right there, which is also nice. So then you can go through and do all your add-ons if you decide to not do a Retropie, or maybe doing different things with it. So kit-wise, everything I'm liking a lot, except for these screws, which isn't a huge deal because it's not like the thing moves around. So it's really kind of pointless to have the screws in there because they don't. Maybe it's for the old Retropie, but I don't know. So there you go. And then let's go ahead and take that off. And we'll go ahead and add our first USB device. I'm putting it in right. There we go. A little snug. Alright, so we got the Wi-Fi connection now into it. We've got the heat sinks on it. Everything's in place. It's not going anywhere, which is real nice because if you do use it for XBMC machine, you know, this would sit really nicely behind your TV and I wouldn't worry about it. Alright guys, that's it all put together. Like I said, everything went fairly easy as you saw. The case has nice, you know, I would rate the case really good. We won't know until we go through and start plugging things in to see how well the case really is. But I mean, at first glance, it doesn't look too bad. Everything seems to be accessible. And like I stated, the only drawback is the screws, which no big deal. Just toss them, throw them away. And all right, I will go ahead and see you guys back over at the laptop for the next step. Thanks. Hey, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. We just got done with the build, and the video went a little longer than what I'd liked, so I went ahead and cut this video short. And then we're going to move on to the next video here soon on the install of the Retropie on the Raspberry Pi. If you want, make sure to sub and thumbs up. That always helps the channel. Also, make sure you get out and follow us on Twitter. We always will post our latest content, videos, news, and even when we're twitching. So until next time guys, thanks.